Express yourself. Express yourself.
Express yourself. That is what I'm going to do for the time that I'm talking to you. Is that all right? Welcome to Qurious' podcast, and I am your host, Qurious. Now, something wonderful took place while I was back there in New Jersey. I have a sponsor. I'm new to this, but I have a sponsor. His name is Chicky. He's from New Jersey, and we were sitting out talking, and he said he believed in my vision and gave me an envelope full of money. See, if someone believes in your visions, they want to follow suit. The word says when you tell somebody something, they're supposed to run. Now, if they're not running, they're not interested, but I want to thank you so much, Chicky. Now, he and I, we were good buddies back in the day in high school and everything, so we have a lot of history, so it's really like a long time investment. And he told me when he was talking to me that I got out, and he shared with me with his story why he did not get out. So this show is dedicated to you, Chicky. Now, I need for you to sit back and relax and enjoy this time with me. Open up your mind, because I do things a little bit differently, and it's okay. I have two sides to me. That's why I have this mask on. Two sides to Qurious, and it's okay because we all do. Now, I would just like to share with you that my topic is going to be touching people's lives. And that's what I did when I went home. I didn't know what was going on because I had not been there for such a long time. I want to say almost like 20 years. And so we had some business to take care of. Well, I had some business that I had to take care of with one of my sisters, my older sister. And she's 85 and fine. And so the Lord allowed me to do that. And so I was very, very excited about that. And everybody was asking me, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? And my thing is, I allow the Lord to do what it is he needs to do, because it's none of my business. However, I'm a willing vessel to do whatever I need to do. And so sometimes when we have healings in our family, we got to step back and let God do what he needs to do. And then everything will flow smoothly. Now, I want to run my journey down to you just a little bit. So my first journey started off with TaylorMade. TaylorMade, I met her on Facebook, and we made a connection in New Jersey. Now, let me tell you about this road runner. She's a singer, and she goes all over. So I thought I would hang with her. You know, I look young and everything, but I'm seasoned like seasoned French fries. So anyway, I was hanging out with her, and I had to throw in the towel. She broke me down to my brake pads. Y'all know about brake pads on a car? That girl could run. She wore me out when I was in Atlantic City. And so while we were traveling through Atlantic City, a lot of things were taking place. I wasn't accustomed to being on trains, being on buses, running after shuttles, because once the event is over, like say 1, 2 o'clock, then you have to walk. I wasn't feeling that walking. And so she had me running. And when I finally hit the hotel, something I never do, I had to tell her, you know, I'm not nasty or anything like that. I just fell straight out. Didn't take no clothes off. Didn't wash my butt. I didn't do anything. That's how tired TaylorMade wore me out. So that was my first episode with her. Now, moving into my journey, when I got home, I was feeling so bad that I just fell out. Now, my niece took care of me, and she said, you know, Qurious, you fell out for 18 hours. Again, I didn't take my clothes off, didn't wash my butt. I didn't do anything, man. I was wore the hell out. And so I always say I go out and play, but she was playing harder than me. So I was down for 5 long days back in New Jersey. But thanks to my niece, thank you, Yvette, she brought me back to health. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything. And during that time, I have a twin sister, and I thought she was neglecting me. And so when I came to myself around the 5th day, I placed that call. And she said she was down too. So sometimes you got to understand what's going on and not assume, okay? And once we both came up, we started running. But I'm going to leave that a little later on in the program. And so the next part was, I I went to play pickleball, not ping pong. Oh, pickleball. That's right, pickleball. And so when I came to myself, I had to get out the house because I was down for so long. So my niece took me to play pickleball. Well, I rode up in there looking like this and everything because I wasn't ready to play, that game. And everybody was like, "Oh, why you aren't dressed for the occasion?" I was like, "Mind your own business." But we had a wonderful time, and nothing but the other type of folks, the 23s. And so it's all good. I had a wonderful time. I got to see her play, and she got to enjoy her day because normally she doesn't do anything. And the reason why I say stuff like this, you got to take people out their comfort zone sometimes. And she was out of her element, also out of her comfort zone, but it's okay because I was there to, give her that little push that she needed. And so we had a wonderful time. Then moving fast, I wanted to eat. Now, we went to this one place. And I was very hungry, and I fell up in a place, and I was talking to the lady and everything. She got all excited, and this is when favor kicked in. That lady gave us so much food, and she couldn't believe that we were seasoned people. My niece was over there hollering the age because, they usually card you. But because we had favor, she gave us extra stuff like biscuits, stuff that she wasn't supposed to do. We sat down and my niece said she never saw anything like that. So when you're moving with the Lord and he gives you favor, things like that happen. And during my stay with her, she saw a lot of things like that taking place. And in life, sometimes you got to learn how to do different things. And I don't have any problems with doing different things because most people know that I'm very excitable. I just do stuff just out the clear blue. It is what I do. And so that's a wonderful thing. Then we had to make a stop to see somebody. Someone took me to meet someone, and they got so engulfed into, when they saw my skin, they just lost their mind. I'm going to tell you why my skin looks like this further on into the show. And he wanted to take me out, and I was like, no, we can't do that. You don't know me. You may try to kidnap me and stuff like that, but it's all good. Now, stuff like this was happening all throughout my visit. I'm telling you, it was something. It was just something. And so when you're shining like the shining star that the Lord has called you to be, that's what happens. It says, put the light up high for all to see. You're not supposed to put it underneath the lamp table. People are supposed to see you. And not only that, when you come out into the universe, you are supposed to change the universe. You're not supposed to blend in. And why do I say that? Because he says that we are peculiar people. Now, if you're a peculiar person, how are we going to blend in? I don't know anything about blending in. But if you know, you can go ahead and text me a little bit in the byline, and you can discuss that with me about that because, you got to shine. We are his ambassadors. We are his royal priesthood. Therefore, we are supposed to what? We are supposed to look good. Now, another thing took place when I came to myself. I drove past a graveyard. I told my niece, stop at the graveyard. She's like, why are we stopping at the graveyard? I said, I'm thankful and grateful because I thought I was being taken out. They had to take me to the pharmacist and get some medication. And so while I was walking through the graveyard, I was like, Lord, thank you, I'm not here. And then I could feel the Spirit saying, Qurious, live for us. We're gone, live for us. And I was just walking. It was phenomenal. To me, it was. Because if you're still alive, if the Lord has invited you into his day, you got one more day to get it together. And guess what? The close of the day is not promised to you either. Now, I went to the store. I'm taking you on a journey. And I wanted the pretzel because I love pretzels in New Jersey, Philadelphia, or whatever. And I saw the pretzels, but I didn't want to. I just wanted one. So a lovely Caucasian brought me a pretzel and shared his pretzel with me. And everybody in the store is looking like, what? Because that's unheard of. Back where I come from, there's a lot of prejudice going on. And so I don't really deal with stuff like that. I just keep things moving. But the kindness of that man, I was able to get my pretzel for free. And when I went to the car, my niece couldn't believe it. It's called favor. What can I tell you? Now, I had some visitors come by. See, all you got to do is sit on the porch back east, and people ride by all day, wave all day. And so I still was recovering. And those number 14s. They stayed for about 2.5 hours talking. I was like, Lord, when they going home? But I tried to be a good trooper and to accommodate the friendship, but I was just wore out after they left. And so I was getting ready for my next surprise, which was my little grandson. So a lot of dynamics were happening all at one time, and I had to stay focused, and I was allowing the Lord to do whatever it is he was supposed to do. Now, I have a twin sister, as I mentioned earlier, and when we finally hooked up together, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful because I had not seen her for 7 years as well. But let me step back just a moment, getting back to the 85-year-old. And so her and I had a little, I don't know, a fallout. I don't know what you call it. But anyway, I didn't know how I was going to deal with that situation. So my niece took me to meet her. And so when she opened up the door, I struck a pose. In our family, we're screamers and whatever. And so when she opened up the door, she was not expecting to see me. And the Lord allowed the healing to take place. And not only that, she didn't want me to leave. So I told her, I stay if you feed me. So she ended up feeding me and taking me home. And she normally doesn't drive at night. And so when you're open and you're willing to whatever is going to take place, you just got to let it take its course. And so we had a wonderful fellowship, and it was very much welcome. And so the moral of the story is, people, don't hold grudges. Now, I could have said, I don't want to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? But I was open because life is moving fast, and you only get one go around. Life is beautiful, I tell people, but yet it's still short. And so you got to learn how to do whatever it is the Lord wants you to do. Now, when I met my grandson, I was standing on the porch like a little kid. When I met my grandson, I was speechless. I did not know what to say. And why is that? Because he looked just like my son. And the reason why I said that, he's a fallen soldier that got left behind. But, mothers normally know what's going on. And when I saw that little precious face, it just took my breath away. And so I did some videos with him and the mother and stuff like that. And so unity start forming. You know what I'm saying? And so with all that craziness, all that ugliness that was trying to take place, we had to squash that. And just keep things moving and doing what it's supposed to do. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Now, my nephew stopped by, and I was sitting on the porch. I love sitting on that porch. And he said, "Do you want to eat?" And I jumped up. My niece, she was sitting there, lackadaisical. And he said, "Oh, I like that." I said, "Well, where are we going?" Now, remember, I had not eaten for about 5 days. So he ended up taking both of us out. We ended up fellowshipping, and we just had a ball, And so sometimes your money is not spendable when you go other places. And the word says sometimes don't take nothing with you, because when you get over there, people are going to take care of you. Now, people were blessing me, and I also was blessing people, so it was a fair exchange. And that's how you get blessings. You can't be like this. You got to learn how to, open up and release so you can get your stuff. And so later on that evening, I was wore out, and I heard this truck, and my niece was like, "Your nephew's out there. It's late. I ain't going out there." I went out to that big old truck. He had so much food for us, steaks, everything. My niece couldn't believe it. We ate for a week. I had so much food that I had to leave it as I was making my way to come back home to California. So the blessings of the overflows, what I'm sharing with you people, is a mighty beautiful thing in the neighborhood. But you have to be open. Okay? Now, my sister asked me to go to church with her, and I really don't do church. I tell them I am the church. I don't play church. I don't do church. So I went to church, but, I didn't say I was going to stay in church, but I went to church. And so that's another story. I'm not going to incriminate myself just in case you watch this. But when it was over and everything, my brother-in-law introduced me to all type of people. I'm telling you, those people back there are kind of different. But anyway, I had a good time, but I just couldn't understand their get down and different things like that. Everybody back there big. And so they asked me 50 million questions. I'm trying to share with them what's going on. And I saw this one lady just standing up, and she had like some kind of a melon or something in a plastic container, and I got to talking to her, and I said, what you doing? She told me she want to lose weight. I said, all you got to do is stop bending your elbow. That's what the old folks told us when we was growing up. I said, you eat like that. I don't eat like rabbits and birds. I said, because you're a big lady and you need to eat. You know, it's a condition of your mind. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time when you stop doing what you're doing, you end up gaining more weight anyway. And so I met another lady, and she yada yada, and I'm trying to share with her what to do. See, I'm going to do a thing on food too. You don't need no big plates. You don't need big spoons. You don't need nothing. I don't eat like that. And so perhaps I'll share that with you. And so you can enjoy all the things that you want to do. Now, the highlight of the visit was I like doing videos. And so my twin, she doesn't like videos and whatever, but she went along with it. And every time I told her to dance, she was ready to dance. When that video, my little video, I call it my little video, my little camera, started to go, all she had to do is start dancing. See, what you don't understand, people, praise. You got to learn how to praise them. Turn it up a little bit. When you praise the Lord,
Jesus is mine.
The atmosphere starts to change.
He's been my fourth man in the fight.
I've been in the fight.
Time after time.
And I'm telling you,
born of His Spirit.
When you learn how to
washed in His blood.
And you learn how to get your groove on,
and what He did
and you let it go
me on Calvary is more than enough. So I trust in God.
You have to put your faith and trust in the Lord, people,
Savior,
because He's the only one. I mean, He's the only one that can do it for you. He's the only one that can heal you. He'll never fail you. He'll never leave you.
He will never fail.
And so when we did those dance videos, if you notice, she didn't have any rhythm. My brother-in-law didn't have any rhythm, but it wasn't about that. It was like being free. I always tell people, free yourself so you can be yourself. Okay? Life is short. And you got to learn how to live your life. Now I'm going to do a break right here. If I have touched your spirit, man, if I have said anything, you need to go to my website, which is QuriousOnline.com. I have all kind of wonderful goodies over there. In my next video, I'll show it to you. I have stuff that make your skin look like this. Okay? Those are my body jellies or my shea butter jellies. And then I have a spray to make your house smell good, to make you smell good, your car smell good, make everything smell good. When you praise the Lord, He'll give you the best. I trust in God and nobody else, for He has ordered my steps for such a time as this. Do you understand me, people? He'll never fail you. And He'll never leave you. Do you understand that? If you would like to talk to me, everything is up at my website. That's QuriousOnline.com. And we're going to keep this thing moving. Remember this. Move in purpose. And understand why you're moving in purpose. Don't just move in purpose because you'll run interference with yourself. I need for you to like. I need for you to share and follow me, because as I go on this journey, I'm going to get better. But it's a journey, and I'm willing to go on that journey. Y'all make a beautiful day, just because.
I sought the Lord, and He heard, and He answered. I sought the Lord, and He heard, and He answered. I sought the Lord.